All right, shooting a video here for our commercial lines team, who I love so much, in terms of how to find contacts with the carriers, which I know can be very challenging. I know I'm experiencing that, right? And so I know there's been questions recently and just some of the things that we're trying to do to help. So I wanted to put this quick video together so we kind of memorialize it. We have one spot for people to look and go back to. And primarily I'm talking about new carriers that we have access to direct through Liberty, right? So again, the blessing of that is get more commission, traditionally on commercial, 15%, and access to some of the largest carriers in the world, Hartford, Zurich, CNA, on and on. So a couple of things just to start of like, where am I keeping this or where are we saving it? So on our SharePoint, so if you go into SharePoint, go under commercial lines, and then under carriers, and then new CL carriers through Liberty, and then right at the top, I just created this folder. And this is one carrier and underwriting contacts, okay, and how to find. And I'm going to save this video in here. So I try to go more Google Sheets when I can, which I like because it's instantly automated or updated. Anyone can see it. I've sent this out to you guys before. We've got this saved in a few places. I'm working for us to create this for ourselves. So we have a list that we can work from, okay? So I've literally been working on some of this today. So a way that you can go in here and say, hey, I'm trying to get a contact at Liberty Mutual. Well, Hannah Beamer, underwriting contact, $25,000 and less premium. It is not fully completed, okay? Some of the things are missing, agency code. It's kind of, some of this is a little bit of a treasure hunt. But at least we've got something that we're putting together to try and help, right? So this is one thing that this is really internal for our agency, okay? The other thing in place that you can go to look for things, Liberty has this carrier master list with carrier contacts, okay? So I was kind of poking around through this as well. So this is a list, and this one is not to be distributed because they're really not using it anymore, but for sort of legacy purposes, it's helpful. So this is another area where you may be able to find contact info, okay? So again, like if we're looking for Hartford, for example, and yes, we have lots of different producers and offices and codes and all of that. Half the battle what we're dealing with right now, like working with helping Craig on a commercial middle market account, is like, well, something like this normally has to get emailed to an underwriter. Like, who the heck's the underwriter? Who do we send it to? And again, that's not always an easy answer, because even if we ask some of our friends at Liberty, they may have West Coast contacts. We may need to find out who's the contact here for Florida or East Coast and all that. Remember, these are huge, huge companies. So I would just encourage you to dig, frankly, on that. But again, this is another area where you certainly can see lots of carriers, lots of codes. If you scroll all the way over, you'll also see websites and marketing rep contact info, right? So for example, for the Hartford, I don't know who our middle market underwriting contact is. I just left Jolene Hazard a voicemail saying, hey, Jolene, help me out here. Where do I send this? And I would encourage all of you, or any of you that are in this spot, you're looking for some of this info, this is the type of stuff you have to do. This is the granular level. And I don't know that any agency anywhere has got the easiest way to figure it out, because things change and change frequently. People change, jobs change, positions change, companies restructure, on and on, okay? But yet, this is one other thing that we've got access to. Then the last thing that I want to highlight, and I think this is also very helpful, and I found something in here that specifically helped me find an answer right now, is this carrier context through Data Vortex Liberty. We've talked about this before, but again, I want to highlight it for purposes now. So if you go into RoboForm and you go under Strategic, you go under Technology and Other, okay, you'll see this Liberty Internal Dashboard Carrier Search, right? Okay. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you here to this page. And this was actually very helpful for a scenario just like what we were looking for. So what I did, and I'm going to, for purposes now, I do want to, just because I did find it, I want to save the info, and I'm going to do that right now. But and I'll kind of re-engineer and show you what I did. But we were basically looking for a construction contact for middle market, right? Like, okay, well, where is that? Now, I'll also even say sometimes poke around the carrier website. Sometimes the websites have a lot of good info. So I'm on the carrier website. I'm clicking contacts. I'm clicking under agency. I'm looking all different places. I'm not seeing very clear like, hey, here is who your underwriter is. Now, some of the carriers do have that, okay? So remember that. Literally, the carrier website may be a spot right there. But back to this data vortex, I went in here. I poked around for Hartford, and then I started looking under department, and I can see an underwriter here for construction. So I'm literally going to click on her name, okay? And then I pull this up, and we can see here, okay, here is Lynn Butler Construction at the Hartford. And no time like the present, I'm going to literally do this right now. I'm going to pull up an email. I'm going to email her and basically say, Lynn, I've got a middle market construction risk. Can you help me? I'm not going to do that on the video right now for purposes of time, but that's what I would do is once you get a contact or you think you got someone, and the carriers are normally pretty good about knowing who to point you to, if not, internally. So again, for references here, what I did. So when you go to the first main page, you're going to get a dashboard that looks like this. And really this is, and I give Liberty a lot of credit because this is what we're really going to because it's live and it's online. And you can see there's instructions here with how to select appetite, how to select different areas, different things you want. But I basically went under P&C, and then I went under contacts, and then I typed in Hartford. Now you're going to see a ton of stuff came up. I mean, again, think about this. Hartford's a huge company, right? So now all these different people started coming up, right? So from there, what did I do from there? I then, a couple things. One, I also went in here, and you can tell based on position, marketing manager, like this guy, Ed Clark, I called him and left a message. Ed, I'm a Liberty partner. I'm a producer. I'm trying to write some business. Help me out. So I clicked on that, got me his info right there, okay? I think what I did from here, though, is I went job title. So I sorted by job title because I know we want an underwriter. Okay. And then if I scroll over down here, if I can get to it, it's kind of hard with the video on. There was basically a spot for department. Here we go. That's where the magic is. So not only do we can sort by name, title, but now I could sort that by department because I know I'm looking for someone in the construction department. I kind of went down here and, sorted till I found that Lynn Butler, which says construction, right? So those are some of the ways to find the carrier info. Again, this is not always the easiest thing. I will totally admit that. Part of it, you just got to hunt. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. Burn the ships, baby. 2023.